don't know who I am Liz Yule, and I am from Old Stables Crafts. I'm a independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, there's a mouthful, based in the UK. And yes, I've gone live. I have an alert from my own channel, because I subscribe to my own channel. Why wouldn't I? Anyway, let me get rid of that. Let me just post the comment that I was going to post earlier. Oh, and that's good. I can pick up the cat's worming tablets. Hello, Beverly. So I've got a fairly quick live planned for today. Famous last words. Because my second COVID vaccination has been brought forward by just over a week. Woohoo! Apparently something to do with I'm old. I don't know. Critical at-risk group. Morning from a rainy Oregon. Oh, Sherry, I'm so sorry. It's sunny here. I know. I've had to close the blind over my desk because it's too bright. It's throwing bright shadows over my workspace. Hello, Pam. Pam has already got her team retreat box. Yay! I sent them out earlier in the week. I think even the one going to Germany has arrived, which is even more amazing. So yes, morning Marlene from a chilly Wisconsin. It's dropped from 80 to 35 degrees. Good grief. Sunny days are awesome, and apparently we've got them planned for certainly the next 10 days, or at least, if not sunny, dry, which for the UK at the moment is amazing. We've had a really, really wet May. We've had one of the coldest Mays since the mid-90s. I mean, it's just madness. All the garden is so behind. Anyway, as I say, it's going to be a bit quick today. I've got about half an hour, I think, before I need to leave to go and get my second vaccination. Yes, I am excited. So I am going to flip you down and show you what we're going to be using. So picture in picture. We are going to be using the Count On. Hours are coming. Wow. Your second jab, or you? I've lost you, Pam. Anyway, we're using Count On Me. This stamp set is in the new annual catalogue, and it's so cute. And the tailor-made tag dies, which are gift tags, and two shapes, lots of sizes in two shapes. No sun. Oh right, okay, the sun is coming. That makes sense. I'm sorry it's not arrived, but it's coming. There's a high coming in, and it's scooting down from the south, so it's going to be warm. So yes, I have made a few already of these, because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 critters, for want of a better word, and I've got 2 still to finish, and they are all basically the same. So I'm going to tidy these away because they reflect, and I've got out the stamps that I need, so that's fine. So in no particular order, this is the bear. Actually, I'm going to bring back in the stamps so you can see them. So this is the bear. So it's crumb cake on balmy blue with one of the new check and dots and checks embossing folders, which is one of the narrow ones, which goes through the mini die cutter. And then I've got some of the resin hearts from the snail mail suite, which are reduced, or going to be reduced from the 1st of June while stocks last. And I've, in balmy blue, stamped the I've Got Your Back, which is this, ooh, you can't see that, which is this sentiment here. And I've splatted some Wink of Stella over. Morning, Suzanne. It's raining in Washington State today. Sorry. Morning, Mary, or hello, Mary. I don't know where you're joining us from, so let's just say hello. So yes, so this is that lovely bear. This is in cinnamon cider. A little bit of colour lifter in the middle here just to lighten it, and then a real red heart. Then we've got the kangaroo. Again, we're on crumb cake, this time with Daffodil Delight, and I've splattered with the crumb cake Stampin' Right marker. Added some of the gilded gems, which are carrying over. Again, this time I've got the checked of the dots and checks embossing folders. Some of the floral, well, it's the ribbon that's in the artistic floral art suite, which is in the mini catalogue. This ribbon is carrying over with some white twine. This is coloured in crumb cake, so I've picked up the crumb cake with Daffodil Delight and pumpkin pie. Very chilly in Melbourne, Australia. Well, yes, you're going into your winter, aren't you? Oh, thank you, Beverly. I'm glad you think it's sweet. Hello, Lorna. So, yes, love comes in all shapes and sizes on that one. And again, I've just sliced it up, and that's stamped in crumb cake. Next one is the koala pear. So for our Australians, this is for you, the koala. I'm not going to say bear because I know koala apparently is Aboriginal for bear. So if you say koala bear, you're saying bear. So the koala is in grey granite. So I've got grey granite card. I just wanted something bright, so I used orange for no other reason. It is one of the colours that they suggest for grey granite. So that works. So I've got grey granite ribbon, grey granite twine, which is from the new Essentials pack. So the new Essentials pack of twine has got grey granite, black, very vanilla, white and crumb cake. You get 10 yards of the white and crumb cake and 5 each of the vanilla, black and grey granite. And again, I've used some of the resin hearts, and this is stamped in grey granite and sliced up. And then the last one that I've prepared is the little penguin, which is also in grey granite. I've just done lots of layers of the dark grey granite so that he's darker, but he is quite dark. And real red balloon, so real red card, basic black, real red stamping, and more of the resin hearts. And then this is the red ribbon that's carrying over, and white twine. So clearly I've got to do the last two, which is the fox and the kiwi. So I have done the colouring. The colouring is quite straightforward. These are only small images, and other than the colour lifter, these are the colours that I used. I don't know if I used all of them, but they're combos. So grey granite, the ivory, which I used for the face and the tail of the fox, cinnamon cider, soft suede I didn't actually use, so I'm taking those out because I don't need to think about those. I said real red, but it was actually Poppy Parade. It wasn't. It was real red. I switched those out. Don't you love it? Pumpkin pie, Daffodil Delight, and crumb cake. I'm going to get my real red while I think about it, because I will be using that for popping what I've used. Hello from Overton, Texas. Oh, thank you, Felicia. I'm so pleased you like my videos. So yes, so those are the colours I've used, but bear in mind that I've used these on the whole of the stamp images. So not actually that many. So the ones we've still got to do are the kiwi and the fox. And as I say, I have already prepared the bits to save time because I'm having my second COVID vaccination today. Did you know that? Had you heard? Anyway, so I've got a crumb cake base for this one. This is for the kiwi, which I have coloured in crumb cake with an ivory nose, well, beak, and a bit of colour lifter in the middle. No, it wasn't colour lifter, it was ivory in the middle, just to lighten the middle a bit. What colour is a kiwi? Well, brown, apparently. So I've done it in crumb cake. I did Google kiwi, and apart from an albino kiwi, they were all crumb cake, kind of all brown, grey brown colour, so I thought crumb cake would do. Hello, Jackie from Northamptonshire. Yes, it's sunny here too. Northamptonshire's not that far from Oxfordshire. So yes, brown is what colour a kiwi is. And I'm pairing the crumb cake with mint macaron because it's a bit like balmy blue and mint macaron. Balmy blue and crumb cake. It's one of those matches made in heaven for me. I just love crumb cake and balmy blue. It's a bit like a lot of people wear cargo pants. Not cargo pants, the smart version. Anyway, they wear that kind of taupe trouser and a blue shirt. It's quite often used for city dress down. Just after midnight with you in Melbourne. Good grief. You must be feeling slightly insomniac-ish. Now, this is the soft succulent ribbon, but it goes quite nicely. Just trying to see if I've got... No, that's jade. Soft succulent is... So this is soft succulent, and this is mint macaron. So they aren't... The tone is quite similar, but this does go quite nicely with the mint macaron. I mean, it's one of those colours that it picks up, this ribbon picks up the tone from what it's on, which is quite useful, really. So I'm using this because I did try the mint macaron velvet ribbon, but it wouldn't go through the hole. So I'm going to build sort of backwards and then frontwards. It's going to be a bit of an odd build. So I am going to adhere this. All of my cards need liners still. I'm going to do a batch of liners. So just pop that on like that. Then this needs a hole, I mean as in a thing to go around its hole, and I've done crumb cake. So I basically picked up apart from the balmy blue one where I realised I'd gone wrong, as in it was the wrong sort of colour. Thank you, Marlene. I'm an owl, not a fowl. Okay. Khaki pants, yes, but there's a name for them, and it's not... there isn't... It's... I can't remember. There's a... Certainly in the UK there's a name, and they're not cargo pants. Can't remember. Chinos, that's what I'm thinking of, which is actually more of an American thing, I think. But yes, chinos are quite often used on, if it's a dress down Friday in the City of London, people would wear chinos and a blue shirt. Certainly where I used to work, and that was quite a common, in inverted commas, uniform. Obviously it wasn't a uniform because it was not that sort of place. I have my oncologist appointment today. Oh, I'm so sorry. I remember oncologist appointments too well. Yeah, not good. Not good. Well, it may be good. You never know. But yes, mouth, heart in mouth, a lot. I hope everything goes reasonably well for you. Right, so I'm going to stick my little kiwi on, and I'm sticking my kiwi onto my vellum tag so that it's straight to the vellum tag. I'll bring it across a bit so its beak is... I might bring it up a wee bit. And I'm using Seal Plus because vellum can be a little bit tricky for glue. And then that's going to go on there. And I'm going to hide the glue for this behind the kiwi, because why wouldn't I? And then I'm going to add a little bit of glue behind the top of the tag, although this is going to be tied together anyway, so it's not too important. And I'm putting this on at a very slight angle, just so that the bottom of the tag sticks out a bit, like that. And then this is going to be stuck onto the embossed piece, and again I've used the dots and checks again, and this is the dots. I'm going to stick this onto this with dimensionals, But before I do that, just remembered, I've got to put the ribbon on. That was nearly a mistake. So, the ribbon, which as I say is the soft succulent ribbon. Thinking about this stamp set, I've not seen very many projects with it yet, and I'm surprised because I think it's really cute. And you can either make it, you know, kiddie or fun adult. So I think it is useful for all sorts. So this is probably the trickiest bit. I'm using a double length of linen thread, which I want to tie in a bow. And it's always interesting trying to tie round something that's not adhered to anything, because it wants to move and I want the ends to be reasonably the same length. There we are. I can straighten everything up once I've finished, but for the moment, ooh, that's upside down, right. It's one of those weird things, if I don't tie this the right way up, it all goes wrong. Hello, Pam. Welcome. So that's an end, that's a loop. Those are loops. Those are ends. So I want a little baby bow, but with a double thickness of thread, preferably without undoing the bow while I'm doing it. Right, so one of those needs to be smaller, like that. Right, that needs to be a bit smaller. Okay, we are pretty close to being there. You're in Perth, are you, Yvonne? Oh. I went to Perth many years ago in February and got very sunburnt, having left the UK in snow. My skin wasn't really ready for the sun. It loved it, apart from the fact it got sunburnt sitting under a tree with factor 50 on. But there we go. Right, and then I can tighten this so it's closer to the tag just by pulling the ends gently. And then I can just make sure that that's still nicely tied, and it is. And then I'm actually going to use long scissors. I joined after Stampin' Up stopped doing the ribbon scissors, but a long pair of scissors is quite useful. Snips are very good. I love snips, and I did all the fussy cutting with my snips. But knowing that I've got a deadline today, I didn't fussy cut on camera. Right, so this is then going to go onto my embossed vellum. I love that when you emboss vellum, you get the white coming through. February is your hottest month in Perth. Well, that will be why I ended up getting sunburnt, probably. It was lovely, but it was very, very hot. So, oh no, that's not what I want to do. I want the tag straight, or as straight as I can get it, as in the vellum tag, straight on the vellum piece. And then again, I'm going to use some Seal Plus, and then I'm going to use some multi-purpose liquid glue, but I'm hiding it again behind the tag. You're in lockdown in Victoria. We're hoping to come out fully. I mean, we're out a bit. Hubby and I went out to a restaurant for the first time as in indoors in a restaurant, for the first time in over a year. Earlier in the week, it was lovely. It was like almost being normal, apart from the fact the waitress was wearing a mask. Right, so this I'm going to stamp with crumb cake, and I'm using Love Comes in all shapes and sizes. So crumb cake just onto a bit of white card. And it doesn't matter that it's crooked because I'm going to cut it down. So that can go back to the side. And again, I'm going to use my long scissors because for this it's easier to do a long scissor because I'm going to cut that way. Now I need to allow for the fact that there's a descender in the P, so I need to not line up with the love. I need to line up slightly underneath the love, have the courage of my convictions. And what I was always taught when I was at fashion college was that you need to look at where you're going, not where you are. I think crumb cake and mint macaron, as I say, it's a bit like crumb cake and balmy blue. They are a match made in heaven. So that, if I feel, that is remarkably, she says immodestly, straight. And then I'm just going to trim that down, and then I'm going to cut this into bits. But before I cut it into bits, I'm going to attach the edge of a piece of dimensional. And these small dimensionals have these lovely long, as in thick edges. So you can cut that and then take the bottom bit off, turn over your sentiment and attach, and then before you get quite to the end, not that it really matters because we're going to be chopping straight across it in a minute. I love it as well, Pam. Getting my first vaccination next week. Yes, I'm hoping my second one goes well as well, because on Saturday we are going to see my brother and sister-in-law to celebrate his birthday. So I'm going to cut in Love Comes. Last time I was not well the day after, so hopefully I'll be fine by Saturday. And apparently you don't react as much on the second one. Please don't tell me that you've had your second one and you reacted worse. I don't want to know. I will play it as it comes. Right, so Love Comes in all shapes and sizes. So we're going to have Love Comes. Actually, I'm going to do Love Comes in all shapes and sizes. I will be moving them around a wee bit, but not very much. So let's take your pick in there, rip off the back. So I'm going to have my, again, I'm trying to be straight to the card, not to the, so the vellum tag is straight, so I'm going to be straight to that rather than to the mint macaron tag. Love Comes in all. Down a bit. It's almost straight, that's better. It works really well. Did I emboss the vellum in the background? Yes, I used the new Checks and Dots, which is a narrow double embossing folder. So it fits through the mini. In all shapes. Had your second jab and no side effects. Tender injection site. Thank you, Jackie. That's what I want to know. When I had my first one, it was almost immediately after I had COVID. Well, it was 4 weeks after I was first diagnosed with COVID, which was the earliest I was allowed to have it, and that was postponed because I was supposed to have my first one on the Saturday after I was diagnosed, so that had to be cancelled. Right, so these are the Genial Gems, which are in Pale Papaya and Mint Macaron. So why wouldn't I use them? Because they're in Mint Macaron. And I'm just going to add that one there. And another one just tucked in there. and then a little babby one up there, because I do like my triangles. So that is the first one, and I'm going to whiz through the second one like a dose of salts, because otherwise I'm going to be late for my injection. I've got time, don't worry, don't stress, I do have time. So this is the Fox. We're using cinnamon cider, and I used cinnamon cider blends for the Fox, with ivory for his ears, his face and his tail. I'm doing Pretty Pink, Petal Pink for my layering. So I've got Petal Pink ribbon, which is carried over. Dose of salts. So yeah, I think that refers to Epsom salts, which I think is supposed to help if you're having a bad stomach. But yes, otherwise known as whizzing. So there we go, that's that. But basically I'm doing the same thing again. So little dots of adhesive around the, don't try and put my take your pick thing onto the lid of my Tombow. That's not going to work. Thing is a, technical word. Yeah, I like this colour as well. I think this colour combination works really, really well. So again, I'm going to pop my Fox on with some Seal Plus, because we are sticking onto vellum. Vellum can be a bit tricksy that way. There we go. And again, he's going to go on straight to the tag, and then again I don't think I'll bother putting adhesive around the top because we're going to tie it anyway. So that goes at a bit of an angle. And the only reason I really put it as a bit of an angle is so that it's obvious it's vellum. Then the Petal Pink ribbon, actually I'll go back to front to back, not back to front. Tag dies are increasingly looking like a needed addition. Oh, the cinnamon cider is lovely, but yes, you need the tag dies. Sorry. Hi, Steffi. Don't worry, you're not late. No one's ever late. They're just... Actually, I'm going to do one bow for this one rather than two, only because it's not as fiddly and it will therefore hopefully take less time. Right, I'm going to start this way up. This is me and how I tie bows. So I do the first that way, and this is purely because of just how I do it. And then I have to do this way. Basically, I'm tying the same over the same. You did it with the kangaroo set. It would work really well, wouldn't it, with the kangaroo set, which, as we know, is not going over to the annual catalogue. So if you want it, get it now before it sells out, particularly if you are not in North America, because in North America you get a slightly longer while stocks last than you do if you're in South Pacific or Europe, because you don't have to have the shipping issues that we have. By which I mean, our stuff is sent by ship. Thank you, Mary. I'm glad you've got the tags coming, because they really are a must-have. I mean, think what we're going to be able to do with them at Christmas. So that's not the prettiest bow I've ever done, but, I'm looking at the clock. For once, when I say this is going to be a shorter video, it's going to be a shorter video. For once. Right, okay, so that's those. Now let's get this. I might go that way up. I'm going this way up because it when you emboss the vellum curls a bit, so I'm going to put it so that it's coming, I can push it down is basically what I'm saying. Oops. And again, I'm going to line up my vellum tag so that it is straight. So let's line that up on the grid paper. And then I can, that looks sort of straight and sort of in the middle. So that will do. Right, more Seal Plus. And then some liquid adhesive, and I like to use liquid adhesive as well because when we've got embossing it helps. Thank you, Yvonne, I'm glad you like the effect. Right, so I've got to cut the ends of my ribbon. So Steffi, are you doing the team retreat? I can't remember. I know Lorna is. So I was supposed to be having my second COVID jab the day before our team retreat. By team retreat I mean virtual, because A, we cover most of the UK and Germany, and B, because of COVID. So I'm not going to be having side effects when we have our team retreat. Yay! Right, so cinnamon cider, and I've got your back, because this is the back of a fox. And again, I'm going to do exactly the same as I did before and chop it into little pieces. Pop that there. So the first thing to do is to trim it down. And again, I've got two descenders this time, so I need to allow a bit of space between the Ive and my scissors. And again, look at where you're aiming for, not where you are. You're more likely to get a straight line. Yay! I thought you were, Steffi. I couldn't remember. So your box should be with you. If not today, it should arrive tomorrow, because they were all posted and I know some of them have started arriving. So I've got your back, and I think this might be wide enough for actual dimensionals. Yes! So I've got your back. So on the back of those, let's get rid of that before I think it's one that needs a dimensional. I'm going to add, so I had a plan just in case when my second vaccination was due to be the day before the team retreat. My plan was that everything is going to be recorded just in case there are technical issues, because if there's technical issues at my end, I don't want there to be a problem at the other end. And I was just going to do it from my bed if needs be, but I don't have to worry about that. So that's good. Right, so I've got your back. I've got your back. So we're kind of going in a curve round our little fox. Five. Got your oops, thought I had it the wrong way around, turned it round, and as it was the right way round. Back. So I've got your back, and I have just taken delivery of, if I can find them, I've buried them apparently, whoops, let's throw things around. I have got the new square gems, which are in the carryover colours. Have you ever used your silicone mat to do mirror image like it says? Yes, I have. I will do that, but not today because I have got to go and have my second COVID jab. I did it not that long ago actually, but I will put it on my list, Deb. D even. Right, so I'm going to add actually I think I might come this. No, I'm going to go that way. That's not straight, so that's going to annoy me. 1. They are quite chunky. 2. It's quite nice to have something a little different. 3. So there we go. Those are all our little critters done. Let me tidy some of the rubbish away, and then I will show you all of the ones that we've got. So that's the one we've just made. This is the other one we just made. So really, really cute. Then here's the ones I prepared earlier, which you have seen already. So the bear, which has got some Wink of Stella. The little penguin, which is coloured in dark grey granite. The D, you're very welcome. I'm always very pleased to get requests because it means I don't have to think of things to do. So I'm going to actually end up putting a very small glue dot under there because that's going to annoy me if it flips up. So we've got our koalas and our kangaroo. So really, really cute set. Please, please don't think of it only being for children, because any of these would be perfectly fine for an adult who's got a bit of a sense of humour. So yeah, I have to say the sentiment I didn't use, because it really was a bit long for chopping up, was the "we can make it through to anything if we do it together." I did do it. I did it with the koala. So yes, even that. I knew I hadn't done it on camera, but yes, so even that can be done. So let me just flip up. Thank you, Jackie. Glad you enjoyed it. Little shorter than usual. I'm going to try and keep them this sort of size. But yeah, I think these are just so simple to put together. I prepped this including the design, in about 3/4 of an hour, there or thereabouts. Let me just flip back up so I can talk to you properly. So yes, it took me about 3/4 of an hour to actually come up with the design, and then it was just a question of doing the prep, which didn't take that long once I knew what I was doing, and then obviously colour matching. But I have to say I'm loving that. So the soft succulent is also good as a mint macaron, because the velvet ribbon is lovely, but I'm just, yeah, it's too thick for this sort of thing. Anyway, thank you very much indeed for joining me, and I will see you again very soon. Do remember, if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up or 2. Might have to get this. Well, you see, that's what I'm all here for. I'm here to enable. So yes, if you've enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't already subscribe, please do subscribe in the bottom right hand corner. I have to do it the other way round. And have a super night, day, afternoon, depending on where you are in the world, and I will see you again very soon. Saturday morning at 10 o'clock UK time I will be live again. I have got a January, June catalogue walkthrough for those of you in the UK. That will be coming out later. It will coming out probably on Bank Holiday Monday. So you can prep for it all happening on the 1st of June. Have a fantastic time, and I will see you soon. Bye! Let me bring up my end.